Verstappen and Leclerc, the great challenge of season 2023. The 2023 Formula One season has turned into a drama movie with Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc battling it out. As both drivers tried to dominate each other throughout the season, the excitement peaked in every race. In the first half of the season, Verstappen led the way in the powerful Red Bull car. With 4 Grand Prix victories under his belt, Verstappen was well on his way to the championship.
The final race of the year is 5 lights away, and the Abu Dhabi.
But Leclerc didn't give up with the new engine developed by Ferrari. With 3 consecutive wins in the French Grand Prix, Leclerc managed to catch Verstappen. The summer months have seen the rivalry between the two drivers flare up even more. At the Belgian Grand Prix, Verstappen and Leclerc crashed on the first lap, and both had to retire early. This accident changed the balance in the championship race. Going into the final part of the season, Verstappen and Leclerc were very close in the point standings. Both drivers were trying to avoid making mistakes in the remaining races. At the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the championship came down to the last lap. Verstappen and Leclerc were locked in a fierce battle on the final lap. In the end, Verstappen was the first driver to cross the finish line and won the title of 2023 Formula One World Champion. Some details of this exciting story. Verstappen has won 15 Grand Prix in the 2023 season. Leclerc has 14 wins. Verstappen finished the season with 400 points, Leclerc 395. The battle between the two drivers was considered one of the most competitive championship races in Formula One history. Verstappen and Leclerc are 2 talented drivers who will leave their mark on Formula One for years to come. Formula One is becoming an ever more exciting and attractive sport. Championships are not decided until the last lap, and every race is full of surprises. For Formula One fans, the rest of this story will be written next season. In 2024, the battle between Verstappen and Leclerc looks set to be even fiercer. Competition continues in 2024 trials. Max Verstappen leads, Leclerc in second place. The long winter break in Formula One has come to an end, and the drivers have returned to action with preseason testing in Bahrain. It was the first time we could see the new F1 cars on the track. The first day of testing, with all 10 teams participating, began at 10 a.m. local time, and the drivers had 4 hours of testing time. In the morning session, George Russell, Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Yuki Tsunoda, Kevin Magnussen, Valtteri Bottas, Esteban Ocon, and Alexander Albon were on the track. At the start of the session, George Russell from Mercedes was quite eager to get on the track as he was seen at the front of the queue at the pit lane exit. As the light at the end of the pit lane turned green, the track quickly filled up, with all teams sending out their cars equipped with aero sensors to gather data on airflow. This real data is compared with the data obtained from wind tunnel testing, simulations, and computational fluid dynamics, CFD, during the winter months. Since it's crucial for teams to see smooth correlation between simulation and actual track performance, plenty of running was done with aero sensors. Moreover, the Sakir circuit wasn't in ideal conditions for performance runs. The hot weather and sand made the track quite slippery. Consequently, the first 2 hours saw relatively slower and calmer runs. Teams that kept their designs hidden during launches also revealed their actual cars, with Red Bull and McLaren particularly catching attention. As the drivers spent more time on the track, it cleaned up more. And though relatively insignificant, lap times improved. The session was quite calm and uneventful. There were no spins or crashes except for Alexander Albon, who stopped on track in the final 30 minutes. His car was recovered without the need for a red flag. Thus, except for Williams and Albon, everyone else managed to complete their planned runs without interruption. At the end of the 4 hours, Max Verstappen topped the timesheets. Completing 66 laps during the 4-hour session, Verstappen set the fastest time of 1:32.548 and finished the first official session of the season at the top. At Ferrari, Leclerc trailed in second place, 0.699 seconds behind. Alonso in Aston Martin was third, just 0.1 seconds behind him. The Spanish driver completed 77 laps, leading in this area and had an efficient session. Oscar Piastri from McLaren was fourth, while Yuki Tsunoda from VCARB completed the top 5. Russell from Mercedes took 6th place. After completing only 19 laps in the morning, the British driver returned to the garage and stayed there for a long time. During this period, there were rumors of a problem with the W15's hybrid system, but Mercedes stated that they only made setup changes. Valtteri Bottas at Sauber was 7th, with Alexander Albon, the only driver who stopped on track, finishing 8th. Esteban Ocon and Kevin Magnussen completed the top 10. Which driver do you think will be champion in 2024?